Hey V-Icon family, it's your girl Mel and I am back for a quick video. I had not planned on taping today because I was, doing some other things, but here I am. I ended up having a conversation that jarred my memory, and I thought it would be very fitting to share with V-Icon Courage to Crossover platform. So, listen, I hope you guys are having a good day. And I wanted to just take a little time to, you know, this channel was started to be a safe space to have fun and makeup, but the meat of it is about mental health. Surviving in your silence and surviving, your own thoughts, right? And to dismiss the stigma about there's weakness in seeking therapy. You guys know I think therapy is the bomb because it is. There is a beauty when someone is in the journey of their healing, right? To have the courage to cross over to be your best icon self, right? And so, we'll talk about the makeup and the hair and the lashes, and that's fun. But the meat of this platform is about courage to heal, courage to move on, courage to get out of a bad situation, courage to stop bad thinking, bad habits, courage to let people go that mean you no good, right? And so this conversation I had today, I was asked to give a situation wherein things look bleak, and challenging. And could I give an example of how I turned it around or not? And so the first thing that came to the forefront of my mind was a situation that I'm going to share with you all. And so I have to be careful as I talk about my work in that field because I'm HIPAA compliant, right? And that is very dear to me. That's why I'm not a good person to gossip, right? Because I understand the need to feel safe where you speak, right? Which is why I have learned to be careful who you break bread with. You have to be so very careful. Because people that love to gossip, they can posture themselves as a safe person. You may have known them a long time. I don't care. Short time. But when you realize that they mean you no good, don't ignore that, right? It is what it is. Okay? And you should be comfortable, or I hope you get to a place of comfort where you can let go of something that means you no good. And it doesn't have to be a relationship with the opposite sex, or it could be a relationship with anybody that you have. What I should say, it doesn't have to be a emotional, sexual relationship. It could just be a friendship. It could be a coworker. It could be anybody that you have, contact with on a regular basis, and it just mean you no good, right? And so you have to learn how to navigate those different situations. But for this platform, it's about your community. I want to talk about, and your intimate relationships. When you know that something isn't good for you, please get out of it. If you have an instinct not to go into a situation, don't do it, right? Learn to trust your instinct, because for me, it is a compass to keep you out of harm's way. You guys are going to hear me say that a lot because I wholeheartedly believe that. Okay. So here's a situation that came back to the forefront of my mind. All right. There was a parent that was very concerned about the child's mental health stability and was seeking out therapy for the child. And so upon coming to the office, checking in, the staff realizes that we have a problem. There is a double booking. And the clinicians, all of them were in session, or they were going to be in session with their appointments. And so once this information was communicated to the parent, everything started to take what looked like a downward spiral, right? So parents already in a bad situation is seeking out help, gets to the help, and boom, sorry, can't help you today. And the parent is like, what? No, you have to help me today. I have an appointment. I was given this appointment, blah, 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 blah. It just turns into all of that, which any of us can understand. And so someone from the front desk called my office to say, this is what's happening. I go up to the front desk, get the parent, bring them into my office to figure this out. How do I de-escalate this situation? How do I fix it? Can I fix it? Right? And so, I have to acknowledge what happened on the business side that went wrong. I have to acknowledge that. But what was most important was why the parent felt the urgency to seek out mental health services for the child. And in talking with the parent, I knew that there was no way that they could leave without talking to a clinician. Like, I was like, there's just no way. But you're booked. Your clinical staff is booked. So do we run the risk of someone not showing up, and then they do show up and okay, you're still booked? So quick thinking, I went to my supervisor who owned the company. And I went into her office and I said, I have a problem, and this is my problem. And this parent and this child cannot leave here, in my opinion, without having spoken to a clinician. Our clinicians are booked. I went through the oversight, but she wasn't. And so she walks back to my office with me, and I introduced the parent to the owner, and then the owner takes the parent into her office, and they're walking down the hallway and they're talking. And then the child is brought into the conversation at some point while I am back up front trying to figure out what happened. How do we make sure that this doesn't happen again, right? And, thank God our owner was there. She had skill working in the schools in psychiatry. And so, I'm sorry, not psychiatry, and psychological services. And so we were able to put a Band-Aid on the situation, right? And so we assigned the case to a beautiful, beautiful clinician. And if you looked at any of my previous videos, I've spoken this clinician's name because I think she's just awesome with therapy. And so we get her assigned, and they leave, right? So the next week, parent and child come back. We start the treatment. Great. So parent is bringing the child faithfully every week for treatment. So I'm monitoring the situation from the back end, right? And I know that things are getting better. And so this particular day is treatment day for the child, and I get a call from the front that the parent wants to see me. And so I go up and I come out, and she has a plant for me. And she said, "This is for you. Think about this." She gave me a plant so that I could keep it, so that I can nurture it and water it, and it will grow and it will live. And she said, if it weren't for you and what you did that day and what has been happening with my child's mental health help, I don't know that my child would be living today. And she embraced me so tight, and she kissed me on my cheek. And she wasn't my race. And that's okay. That's so beautiful. When someone can see you as a human being, not the color of your skin, and they will judge you on the content of the character of your heart. Who says that? And I thought about them today. Yeah. And, it brought a smile to my face. And I just thought, Lord, I hope they're both so happy and well, and I wanted to share that with Be Icon family, because your mental health is sometimes it's not pretty. It doesn't look like how you show up on the outside. Sometimes you are inwardly in a dark space and broken. You don't have balance, right? You may be in a downward emotional spiral from trauma, any type of trauma, right? I want to just say to you, please seek help. You have nothing to be ashamed about when you need mental health support, right? That is a lie that only weak people go talk to a doctor. No, that's a lie. That is a lie. And a lie cannot live forever. Okay? So you may have heard me say, if you have a qualified health plan, we call them QHP. You may hear me say, even if you have an MCO, a managed care organization, which falls under that Medicaid, Medicare umbrella, right? Qualified health plan falls under if you're employed and your employer offers health insurance. So you may have Aetna, Cigna, United Healthcare, if they're still around, Blue Cross Blue Shield. There are a host of other insurance companies, right? Where your employer participates You may have an 80-20 participation. You may have a 90-10. It depends on the plan that you pick, right? On the back of either, if you have a managed care organization where you're with a Mera Group or MedStar, right? You have an insurance card. And on the back of your card or on the front, you should see mental health and a customer service number. Call it. They will point you in a direction to give you a list of clinicians that are paneled to accept your insurance. Meaning, if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, you're going to go to a doctor that participates with accepting payment from Blue Cross Blue Shield for your mental health care, right? Which avoids you having to pay so much out of pocket. Find out how your mental health benefits participate. What is the copay? Is there one? Do you have an out-of-pocket expense limit you need to reach before you have 100% participation? Ask these questions to, the customer service person, or go talk to your human resource representative to better understand the insurance that you have, right? If you don't have insurance, the Biden-Harris administration launched 988 Mental Health Lifeline, right? 988. There are licensed clinicians that are available 24/7. It is free and it is confidential, HIPAA compliant, crises resources for you and your loved ones. Please, please, if you don't feel good, call. And if you can't bring yourself to call, if you have a friend, someone you trust, tell them, I need some help. Can you help me? I don't know how to do this. I'm scared to do it. I've heard bad things about this, but I need help. Go and speak to a licensed mental health provider. Please. It is a beautiful thing thinking about that situation, watching it come in fragile, in pieces, to that process of healing, feeling better, your posture is better. It's just it's a wonderful, wonderful thing to see someone go from a place of brokenness to a place of healing and being healed, and that is what I hope this platform can be a segue for anyone who comes across these videos to know that I really do mean it's going to take courage to cross over, to become your best icon self, right? You think of a wound. Think of a wound, a physical wound. You cut yourself and your wound you want it to heal, right? Well, you got to dig in that wound and clean it out. And it hurts. You got to dig in that wound and start cleaning it out. Then you put some medicine in there, right? And then you cover it so that you don't damage it any further. And then the healing begins. That is what mental health treatment, to me, symbolizes. You're wounded. However the wound happened, however the trauma happened, it happened. And you've got to have courage to go in that thing, to clean it out, to get the medicine for it, to cover it, and start allowing the healing process. Okay? Think about that when you call 988 or you contact the customer service and say, can you talk to me about how do I find, a clinician? Think of it that way, right? Because you cannot function long being in an unstable posture. Eventually, you're going to fall. If you're in the tripping part now, this is a lifeline to catch you. It's going to be okay. Excuse the neighbor's dog. It's going to be okay. I promise you it's going to be okay. But you have to recognize that there's a problem. And you know instinctively that there's a problem, right? You know it. Get some help, please. Shut up, dog. Get some help for yourself. It is the best thing that you can do for you. Make the call. Schedule the appointment. Go to the appointment. If you can't bring yourself to take yourself, ask for a ride. Please go and talk to a professional counselor, okay? And even in that, you may need to look around before you find a good connection for yourself, right? If your trauma, for example, is with men, a male clinician may not be good for you, right? Some clinicians have a niche in what they, therapy they provide, right? Ask those questions. If you're dealing with rape, if you're dealing with domestic abuse, whatever your thing is, anxiety, depression, gambling, whatever your thing is that is not healthy for you, ask those questions when you call to schedule an appointment. Does this clinician have experience dealing with X, Y, and Z? And don't have any shame to say, I'm struggling in this area. This is what is wrong, right? Some of them are skilled to deal with grief, all kinds of things that can attack your mental health balance, right? So I just wanted to, just chat really quickly with you guys because I need to come out of this and shift gears and do some other things. But, in having that question posed to me today, it made me think about that situation and it brought a smile to my face. And I will cherish and I will always remember them. I will always remember them with a smile. Yeah, I really will. So, another message. I just wanted to share that with the Be Icon family. And I hope that anyone who stumbles across this video, whether you subscribe to this channel or not, if you listen to this video, I hope that there's something here for you, right? There's something here for you. So anyway, I'm going to go, and I hope that you are being kind to yourself. I hope that you're being loving to yourself and that you're kind to others, because you never know what people are going through when you encounter them as you move about in the day, and how just being kind could help someone that may be in a fragile state of mind, right? So, just be in a good posture of your icon self. Wear it proudly. Continue to do the work for yourself. We all have to continue to work on ourselves. We never stop. And just be encouraged to know that things are going to get better. Things can get better. Please know that. Again, remember 988 is free, 24/7 help. Please take care of your mental health. Please, it's so very important. All right, guys. I will talk to you another time about a little something else. And until then, I want you to have a beautiful day. Beautiful day. On purpose. All right, take care. Love you. Bye.